Welcome. I'm Professor Reboot, and in this video, you'll learn how to create a properly cited MLA 9th citation style guide for your Works Cited page or your bibliographical citations. This will include how to cite books, articles, websites, and even YouTube videos, including what to do if any of those sources are digital. Now, if you've not already watched my video on instructing you how to create the basic structure of MLA 9th citation style papers, I encourage you to stop and do that now. In that video, I show you how and why you would set your paper up to create the Works Cited page you see before you. This, you will see, is the 5th page of a paper that has already been written, and that paper already includes the top page header for MLA 9th formatting, as well as my thesis statement, my thesis map, and several paragraphs that include in-text references to the following sources. Now, these sources have not yet been created in citation style. Let's talk about the structure first. In MLA citation style, you refer to your bibliographical page as a Works Cited page. It appears on a page by itself. So if you end your previous page somewhere here, you might insert page break in order to allow your Works Cited page to begin on a page by itself. And make sure, like every other page in your paper, it does include your last name and the page number in the upper right hand header. That header does appear a half an inch from the top and an inch from the right side margin. Finally, a key to your bibliographical citations in any citation style is hanging indentation. When we construct our official bibliographies, I will show you exactly what to put and where, but for now, I want to show you what hanging indentation looks like. Now, Julie Dirksen refers to the first of my alphabetized list of Works Cited references. And let's say this content here all is Julie Dirksen's citation material for her bibliography. Because the second part of her citation exceeds the first line of text, I have to hit enter here to insert a hanging indentation. Hanging indentation is essentially the opposite of your typical paragraph indentation. A paragraph indentation has you indent the first line, whereas a hanging indentation has you indent the second line. Each of your citations in your bibliographical page of Works Cited will use hanging indentation. Now let's look at the general structure of the Works Cited citation. You begin with the author's or content creator's last name if you have it. In some cases, you might need to use an institutional author or the name of the article you are referring to. Arrange these alphabetically from top to bottom on the page. Note that for some digital sources, you also may need to include the date you accessed that website. MLA 9th only requires you to do this if there is no publication date on the source you are citing. So for example, if you were citing something like a media post or a blog entry that has no specific date of publication, you would need to include the phrase accessed and then day, month, comma, year. And I'll show you how to do that in one of these citations. To cite a book or an ebook in MLA 9th formatting style, the structure is as follows. Author's last name, comma, first full name, period. The title of the book, italicize the title, then the name of the publisher, comma, the year it was published, period, and, if necessary, the URL. When you use a URL in MLA 9th formatting, you do not use HTTP or HTTPS. Simply provide the URL for the ebook you consulted. I need to enter that as text only. Otherwise, it will not let me place it in a formatting style that allows me to break the URL, because the URL is going to take up more than one line of text. So I'm going to find a natural breaking point, delinkify, hit enter, and then that allows me to add the hanging indentation for each of these elements. If I were using a different citation style, I would want this to be a clickable link. It's still allowable for me to make this a clickable link by, of course, highlighting the entire and just making each part of that link now clickable. Citing a peer-reviewed journal article accessed online. Use this format, noting that if you retrieved the source from an online database, you do not need to include the date you retrieved the content from the web. If, however, you retrieved it from any place other than a library database, such as academia or JSTOR, you would list that slightly differently, and you absolutely would need to list the URL. So for journals, you would list As you can see, I have now entered in alphabetical order. Dirksen DI comes before Doe DO, author and last name, a title of article, title of journal italicized, volume number, issue number, year it was published, PP for page, the range of pages it appears, the database it was retrieved from, and the URL with no period at the end of that URL. Now we will look at how to cite a basic web page, both with and without a retrieval date of access. Now remember, you only need to list the retrieval date if the publication you are referencing has no date of publication on it. So again, this should look familiar to you: content creator's last name, comma, first full name, period. And notice that there's the title of the web page, the website, the publisher, if it's different than the website, the date it was published or the date it was accessed, or both, and then the URL. Here we have an example of a website in action with an author, title, the name of the blog, the name of the publisher, the date that that article was published, and the URL. Notice how the URL carried over to a second line, and so it did require me to break that URL. Now, if I want consistency, I would highlight this and also make it a clickable link, just like this part here. Now let me show you the same thing if you needed a retrieval date because there was no date of publication. Now in this version, we're imagining that this blog post does not have a date of publication on the source. So here we would list the date we accessed it. Note that it's no date for the location where the publication date would appear. And at the end of the citation, we list accessed, and we list it day first, month, comma, year that we accessed. When citing a digital video, it is important to make sure that you have first assured that it is credible and authoritative. Otherwise, you might just be citing a video made by a random blogger who does not have expertise in the subject matter. Most videos that you cite, YouTube, Vimeo, or other platforms that serve and host videos, will have a date that that video was uploaded for publication. So in your citation, you will not need to include your access date. You'll notice that this is slightly different. Rather than listing the content creator first, you would list the title of the video first. Then you list the host, which is YouTube, uploaded by, the name of the channel, date, and URL. And notice how the punctuation varies slightly from other citations. Let's look at an example. Once again, placing the title in alphabetical order, as I have historically been doing on my Works Cited page, I list the title of the video, the host of the video, comma, uploaded by, and the name of the channel in italics. And arguably, the name of the host should be italics too, because that is a major vendor, the date that it was uploaded, and the URL. Now that you have a basic understanding of how to set up your MLA 9th citation style Works Cited page, I want to remind you of a few important details about citations. Now, each of the sources that we have cited here today in our Works Cited page are alphabetically arranged. If you were watching earlier, you may have caught that I accidentally put Lee, Sarah's citation in inaccurate alphabetical order, placing it before the Harvard Writing Center. However, Harvard Writing Center actually is still in the wrong place because it would come before How to Cite Sources in MLA. HA comes before HO. So I have to complete this citation, obviously, in order for it to be considered a completed bibliographical citation. However, it is alphabetically arranged, and it does use a hanging indentation for each fully cited citation. Any source that I use in my Works Cited must have a matching source in text. That matching source in text will represent the first part of whatever it is that I am using for my first portion of the works cited bibliographical citation. For example, in this video citation of how to cite sources in MLA style, in text, somewhere in the body of the paper, there will either be a quotation, a paraphrase, or a summary from this video, and the in-text citation will be a parenthetical citation that has, quote, how to cite sources in MLA style, end quote. That guide allows the reader to follow from your in-text citation straight through the alphabetized works cited list right to that particular source. Then your reader has the ability to jump straight to that page or timestamp in the video and find exactly the research you conducted to corroborate it, expand on it, or build their own research. So that is fundamentally the importance of academic citation style. Look forward to future videos where I will tackle APA 7th edition style, and also I will show you how to validate your source credibility to truly make sure that the sources you are citing are in fact credible and authoritative. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.